Welcome to the Building Materials Sales and Marketing Podcast, presented by Mark Mitchell, a sales and marketing consultant who specializes in helping building materials companies overcome difficult sales problems. Mark is the author of the book Building Materials Channel Marketing and a frequent speaker at industry events.
Hello, this is Mark Mitchell from Wizard Strategy. Good to have you tune in today. This podcast, I guess I think about it as a way that you could improve your sales that people I find frequently ignore. Most of the time when you're trying to sell your product, develop a marketing program for it, you are thinking about why your product is better. And you're really focused on why your product is better. Ideally, you're focused on why your product is better for that specific type of customer. So if it's the reason your product is better for a dealer is different than for his builder customer, is different than for the homeowner, for example. But there's always this focus on, what are you using today? And my product is better for these reasons than what you're using today. And if you're a successful company, you have customers who are already buying from you, and they really like doing business with you. And too often we ignore these people. I don't want to say you take them for granted. You're glad that you have them, but you don't utilize them. I was with a client last week, and we were going through their challenge with trying to get more contractors to use their product instead of the competitors. And I was interviewing their salespeople, and they were, showing me how they typically sell a contractor, go in and show the product quality, show the other, selling samples or materials they have to help the contractor sell the product. And, talked about just the low level of interest that they would get from how many contractors they have to call on in order to find one who's ready to or interested in switching. And of course, if you walk in and you offer a lower price, you might get some interest. Or if you happen to call on the customer, when he's unhappy with his current supplier, that's also a great time. But that kind of says, a little bit of one, you really don't want someone to buy you just because you're lower cost or cheaper. And you don't want to just sit and hope that you're making sales calls or sending out marketing messages that you're waiting to hit the person at that one day when they're not happy with their current supplier. It's not very effective. And so as I was talking to the salespeople, interviewing them, one of the salespeople started to talk about a couple of their customers and how they've told them wow, I am just so glad that we buy from you. I can't imagine buying from one of your competitors. And it's like, what? Why? Why did they say that? Okay. And the salespeople could spout off why these customers like doing business with this company. And this is a thing where I see frequently where if you're a successful company, you have customers who like doing business with you. It's not they're stupid. It's not by accident. There's something that you do that they like. You're solving a problem for them. You're making it easier for them. You're making them more successful. They can attribute some part of their business success to doing business with you. And those stories are all sitting out there. And what all of a sudden it came to me, this reminder, I see this time and time again. Whenever I meet with an architect, a builder, a contractor, dealer, distributor, I will always ask them, who are your 3 best suppliers and why? They'll say, I can't imagine doing business with these companies. Even if somebody walked in here and offered me a lower price, I'd be really hard pressed to change. And then I will always ask them why. And they will tell me very specific reasons about what this company does. It's not about their product. It's not about their price. It's always about how it is to do business with this company. Okay? Yes, it may be the rep, but many times it's something deeper than that, or it's something other than that. And it can be quite simple. It can be simply like, oh, well, this company actually does what they say. If they tell me they're going to ship a sample, they do ship a sample. This company, I can get a quote faster. I can get a technical question answered faster, those types of differences. And so I found also that if these companies like you, they many times are quite willing to share their story. And we think about so many times in this industry that we create case histories. And a case history usually has a picture of this impressive project, and then it talks about the project, it names the builder, it names the architect or the general contractor or the owner, and it features, here's how our product was used. And so it's about the product once again, and it's about a project. And most case histories to me all just kind of look the same. And most of them are just kind of a credibility statement piece. In other words, oh, okay, you were used on those buildings, then I guess you're good enough. I can trust you. We could use you. And they do nothing to talk about any other reasons you were used. So if you start to imagine like a case history, like where the architect says why I regularly choose to specify this product from this company, and he talks about dealing with your company, okay, or the distributor or dealer or builder or contractor. I know builders that have certain companies that they say, I can't imagine, I will always use this company unless they change because they make us more successful. They come in every year and help our salespeople improve their sales presentations about their products. They come in and help us update our models to make sure that we're on trend. They educate us about what's going on in their industry. We can't be experts in all these things. And we don't ask them to do this. This is just part of what they do every year for us. And so, if you were that company and you're trying to sell other builders, if you walked in and said, here, look what these 3 builders say about working with us, where most people go in and say, look at our product line or look at our product, look at its performance or something like that. And yes, you have to talk about your product, but, I'm going to say, I don't know what the number is. I'm just going to say that people, yes, they want performance of a product, what it will do for them, and whether it's a lighting fixture, whether it's a countertop, whether it's a furnace, a roofing, a window system, whatever, insulation, whatever it is, there's the performance of the product and there's the price. And most of the time they are looking for a competitive price, not the cheapest price. But what I find they do is we could take any type of product and say, I have 3 to 5 acceptable options of this type of product. And then I have a range of what's an acceptable price, right? And so they kind of look at everybody that, I'll just say, like, to many people, an asphalt shingle is an asphalt shingle. And the difference then becomes, how is it to do business with one asphalt shingle supplier versus another? Okay. And so, that's the reason why your customers stay with you is how it is to do business with you. So it's like, you've got a sales, you literally have another salesman that you're not using. And so I encourage you to think about who are your best customers and to ask them, what is it about dealing with your company that they like, or is, the reasons why they stay with your company? And then ask them if you could share that information. Now, many of them are quite willing to let you, whether you put it in a new kind of case history, whether you whip out your iPhone and you ask them you make a little video of them saying it, why they use you, or if your company has a podcast that you interview them on the podcast. There's many different ways to capture this, or even if it's just used in a sales presentation that's not out to the public, but if you're calling on another builder and here are proof statements from, 3 other builders about why they work with you, I think you'd find it would really make a difference, much more than just talking more about the product or the product performance. You have to cover that, but people are looking, saying, are you going to make my life easier or harder in dealing with you? And many companies are making it harder every day. And so there's something that you're doing right find out what that is. Don't assume you know. Ask the customers, and be prepared maybe to be surprised about what is it that you do that they really appreciate. And I just see so many companies don't use that very important information in their sales and marketing, why customers, use us. Anyway, so, it's like whenever I work with a company, I'm always also trying to look for what are, call it assets that they have that they don't recognize or aren't using. And these aren't assets like from a balance sheet of a factory or trucks or equipment or something. These are usually assets of just business practices, things they do. An asset could be the strength of your brand name. An asset could be your reputation. An asset could be the quality of your sales reps. An asset can be that you have a great content marketing program, that you are the go-to website in your category. But another asset is some things that the way you do business, how easy you make it for your customers, why they stick with you is another asset. And so why not use that asset to help grow your sales, to help convert more customers? Because many times, they're not looking to change, because change is a hassle. Change takes time. There's risk in change. No matter what you tell them, there will be something that is different than the way you do business that will take them some time to adapt to. And so if things are like just okay, they're not really looking to change. But when you start showing them how things can be better based on other contractors, other builders, other dealers are telling them, are saying about you, that gets them to start thinking about, wow, would our life be easier if this happened, if I worked with a company that realized how important this is to us? So just wanted to share that with you. I know that every one of you has some customers who really like doing business with you, and the reasons why that they do business with you are some very compelling stories or information for you to share with prospects that you're trying to convert. Really all I was trying to share today. So give that some thought. Think about who are some of your better customers, and interview them. Give them a call and ask them, what do you like about doing business with us? What are things that do we do things to, make your life easier, or just find out why. And the reasons why they like doing business with you, probably if your competitors aren't doing those same things, is a problem for the customers that you're trying to convert to you who are currently using your competitor. So give that some thinking, and whether it's just you as an individual salesperson, start using some of this, or the whole company gets back and says, hey, we have a great story here that we haven't been telling that will add to our product story that we've been using. So I hope that helps you. And if you find this of value, I hope that you will share it with others, or suggest that they sign up for my weekly newsletter. And if you feel your company is a little stuck and could benefit from some outside thinking on how to grow your business, please contact me and let's have a conversation. Until next time, have a great day.
Thank you for listening to this podcast from Mark Mitchell on building materials, sales, and marketing. We hope he gave you some fresh perspectives on how to grow your sales, and will listen to future episodes.